it's the next stage of our personal development of the development journey as we continue along the path through the gateway of the invincible heart, unleashing the greater capabilities of our individual gifts, building team relationships, and ascend our professional production into the stratosphere, or at least start becoming more and more successful than we were before, and setting the stage to perhaps become more successful than maybe we can even believe or dream right now. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the next stage of the gateway of the invincible heart, and welcome to our church as we are taking you through this journey. Before we move on, who's going to assist us this week? Because as you are aware, initially the Fool helped us to get clear as to where we are and where we are going, and helped us to get rid of any fears that we may have. Next, the Magician gave us his tools for us to use in this journey. And the High Priestess taught us to refine our process and edit our work. The Empress taught us to share our message and nurture others with love and care. The Majestic Emperor, which we looked at last week, he taught us how to scale up with the professional advertising. And this week, can we have a drum roll, please? Is the Hierophant.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going tonight? Thanks for being here.
So we will thank you for being with us, Hierophant. So we will first get into the energy of the Hierophant that will enable us to not just grow from within, but also apply it to our relationships and professional life. Next, with the above average production formula, the Hierophant will be teaching you how to use the power of video to sell more. And next, the Hierophant is going to assist us to get others to succeed with our offer, not slow, but fast. With the team relationship building, know the low of the first fast start. And finally, we will end with a powerful meditation guided by the Hierophant himself. The Hierophant asks us to choose and commit to our path and reveal to us the hidden secret of success passed down from the masters of old. But the strategies that he uses are new and bold. A little bit of heads up though before we really meet the Hierophant. The Hierophant likes to live by the rules, so I advise you to be disciplined and be on our best behaviors. But trust me, he is the best person who can assist us at this stage of our development. Without further delay, let's bring the spiritually inclined wise leader, the Hierophant, to the stage.
Hey there. Thank you, Nandira. That was incredible. What a great introduction. So, thank you for being here. We're going to go over the law of the fast start and how you can use the power of video to achieve an above average production in your personal professional career. But first, we need to understand the personal development aspect of this stage of our growing period. So for that, we have some questions to consider and some affirmations to go over. I'm going to share the screen really quick here and go over some slides with you. if you don't mind, my assistant here in our apothecary is mixing up some herbal medicines, filling up some prescriptions. So just let all the sounds of the apothecary just soothe you and focus. It's time now to really just focus in on how we can help those around us, assist those around us fast, and how we can use this power of video. So we're talking about video now because video is really the capturing of light, and light is the power of God, Christ, Krishna, Buddha consciousness, that higher intelligence that is upon us all the time. And there's a legend or a belief that I believe in called the Akashic Records, which is literally all of your energy, everything that you've ever done is recorded in the Akashic Records, which is in the energy around you through light. So it's like the light is constantly recording your energy all of the time. We can become like the light and start to capture, and we can be like the light and capture our own video. And capturing our own video is a way of looking at ourselves so that we can see ourselves, accept ourselves, become aware of ourselves, and then that gives us a point of which to grow from. And that's why practicing video is the most powerful tool you can do for your personal development. Do you have a...
Oh, that's lovely. Using the power of video.
I'm sorry if that's my video. All right. So, all right, perfect. So we're going to begin with the relationship development gateway of the law of the fast start. And this is going to enable us to increase our relationships that we have with our team. Because when we're assisting people, like we've been doing the strategy of the Empress and the Emperor, we're meeting new people, we're sharing our value with them, and then as they get started with our value offer that we have to assist them, now we're looking at the process of delivering that value and getting the customer, the person that we're assisting, to their stage of healing, success, development, in the quickest way possible. So then we're going to see how that correlates with our professional development gateway at this stage, which is how to sell more through the power of video and influence and persuasion through the power of words. So specifically, we're not just talking about video here, but we're talking about how we can use the power of words in our video to influence and persuade people better, because we want to assist people. And like what we're doing with like the strategy of the Empress, being social and engaging in conversations with lots of people every day, you need to talk to more and more people every day. You end up repeating yourself. So now with this strategy of the Hierophant, we learn how we can record ourselves and use our words just one time, share an influential, persuasive message, and then position that video in a place that can get lots of views, way more views than you could possibly get on your own when you're just sharing your message. And we're going to talk about different types of videos and where to use them and how to use them. And before any of that, before we can grow our business, before we can grow our relationships, we have to grow ourselves. So we focus on our personal development gateway. So these are the questions to consider and affirmations of the Hierophant. So you've come into the temple and you're ready to speak with the high priest and receive the wisdom for your direction. And at this stage, we really have to ask ourselves, like, are you focused on staying committed to what we've already begun? And, you know, the rules and all of the laws and all of the formulas, if you pay attention to all these things, these are going to be what's really going to benefit you. So what motivates you to connect with your spiritual source? And you can journal this down right now. If you'd like to swipe out a pen and start writing, or open up a notebook and type away. You can also think about these questions like 5 or 6 times and keep asking yourself this until you get down to the seed, the root of what really it is. So your spiritual source, that's like what prompts you to leave your legacy. So your spirituality is like your willpower to do that one thing that only you can do, that's unique just to you. And it's what the world is asking for you to do. And you have to be able to find out how you can ask your higher self, how to connect with what it is that gives you this motivation to leave your legacy. Why do you want to do that thing that you're doing right now? Why is that so important? So for me, like I started training in higher consciousness at a very young age. I was introduced to meditation very young. At an early age, I was familiar with moving between 3D reality and 4D transcendental consciousness, and I practice working in transcendental consciousness every day through a regular meditation practice in the morning and in the evening. And when I got older, I learned advanced techniques. I learned the sutra program, the flying sutra program, all of the cities of Patanjali's. And these gave me an experience of cosmic consciousness, fifth dimensional experiences of higher dimensional spirituality. And when I would dive down into this practice of experiencing these higher levels of consciousness, that was connecting with my spiritual source, and that brought me all these insights and motivations and inspirations to really do incredible things that I could not do without that. There came a time in high school and in college where I ran into conflict. Like, why am I being told to do this spiritual practice every day? Why do I practice this every day when my other friends are drinking and using drugs and having sex and going to crazy raging parties? And why, like, I was always told to kind of keep my spirituality practice a secret and, you know, not tell people that, like, hey, I'm having like a multi-dimensional experience here of higher consciousness, because people think that's kind of weird. And most people don't have experiences of higher consciousness. They're trapped in the third dimensional realm, and all they have is beer and drugs and sex and rock and roll, and all those things are great. So it came a time in my life when I was with my friends, and I loved singing in a band. Music was my life, and I was the lead singer of this band. And basically, he told me that I wasn't metal enough to be in the band. They wanted to just play death metal and do lines of cocaine. And he had sex with my girlfriend and then kicked me out of the band. And basically, that was like a tipping point for me when I broke, and I left my spiritual practice like totally behind, and I went crazy off the deep end.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I love what you had for the audience too, like you're talking about the willpower and asking what the world is asking you.
So I came back from that of course, there's a turnaround period. I'm going to get to that a little later. But let's move on to the next question now. So how can we practice the discipline that is going to keep us aligned with our spiritual quest? So I talked about like an AM and PM ritual. Maybe you have something that you do every morning and every night to connect you with your spiritual source. But your spiritual quest is also leaving your legacy and what you do with that spiritual source, with your willpower, how you use that to leave your legacy and to leave your mark on this world, your signature, your gift that's unique, that only you can give. So I went to college. I studied theater arts and music. I went to maybe 3 or 4 different colleges, JCs, community colleges, and then University Santa Cruz. And I had an amazing time learning about theater. I thought it was the best way to learn about other cultures, other people. You get to take on the role of the role model that you want to become and learn about history and events through actually experiencing it. And by the time I was through with that process, it was like 2010. Digital video was becoming really big on the internet. So I started working with a digital media production company, teaching local businesses how to use video on their websites. And I was the guy going door to door to all of the local businesses with a camera and a boom mic. And I was like, I'll shoot a video for you for free if you hire us to do web work for you. So that's kind of how I got my start back in 2010, helping videos learn how to use video. And we all wanted to make like actual like full-length cinematic productions back then. So we had like a conglomerate of different independent video production companies that all work together. We called the Digital Media Foundation. I became the head of the Digital Media Learning Foundation, which was a group for the interns in just like a couple weeks, and was working with all the different interns, connecting them with different video production teams at that time. And then the head producer of the studio ended up getting terminal cancer. And then he was basically on his deathbed, and he decided to sell the whole studio. All the camera equipment, all the studios, all the different independent video production producers in Santa Cruz, the whole factory closed down and the studio shut down. That was in 2012. And basically that was like my whole career. I went through like a university, and that was basically my shot at that town. Like I was getting this really weird vibe about going to LA because as we're finding out now, there's so much corruption and satanic ritual abuse in Hollywood involved with the movie industry and the music industry, that there's just not that higher vibrational consciousness there with the content production. And there's really a corrupt syndicate of movie makers here in California and across America, because who controls the media controls the mind and the consciousness of the people. So that's what really motivated me when I found that only 6 corporations control all of the media in the world. Like we need to pull up our chair to that and be like, we can produce media, we can produce our own content. So that's what really drove me to learn more about digital video and to teach digital video and help others learn how to use video in their practices. So yeah, what happened when that studio closed, I lost my house. I lived in a beautiful 38 acres of national, it was surrounded by national wildlife, parks, redwood trees, forests, and beautiful Santa Cruz mountains. We called it the Garden of Eden. We had our own spring. It was beautiful. So I couldn't support my girlfriend either at the time, so she left me. And that was devastating to me, and I was homeless at that point, and I started just camping out up in the mountains in the forest. There was a cave there by a waterfall. I lived in this cave for a little bit, and just kind of hung out and meditated in the forests of of Santa Cruz. And then,
That's
so
such an
next
inspiring
question.
story,
Yeah.
Hierophant. And I hope that the audience members are answering these questions for themselves. So the first was, how are you going to, what motivates you to connect with your spiritual self? And second is, how are you going to keep up with the practice? So hope that you are answering these questions for yourself too.
Yeah, I was going to go back and show the questions one more time.
Right.
I want to make sure to write them down.
What motivates you to connect with your spiritual source? That's the first question. And then how can you practice the discipline that will keep you aligned with your spiritual quest? So the Hierophant, he's had this personal experiences he's sharing with you. These are his answers. So what are your answers? And I think that what you shared, Hierophant, is very inspiring. Thank you so much. And let's continue to the next question.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2012. I was literally homeless, living out of a tent, scrounging for coins to go buy a cup of coffee so I could spend all day at the cafe using the internet and going on the computer and learning how to blog. So fast forward, how do you make room in your life and in yourself for the wisdom within you to emerge?
I like that question.
So what I ended up doing is going out to a university in Iowa. It's just kind of like the center of the United States of America, pretty much middle of nowhere, just kind of like farmland. And they had a meditation course out there. And I went there and I was a part of their meditation group. It was called Invincible America. And we meditated in these great giant golden domes of knowledge, they call them. And they were filled with foam pads because we practice the flying sutra. So we get so evolved in our advanced yoga practice that we actually lift off the ground and we start flying around in this dome. So it's incredible feeling. You just get this total like bliss out emotion, and you just start laughing, and like, you know, anything that's holding you back just comes off you, and you start flying. So they had a sustainable business course there. So I took their MBA program and learned how to become a sustainable consultant. Learned all the business, finance, accounting, stuff like that. And there is still kind of like something that was kind of holding me back about like the university system. Like I loved all of the consciousness stuff and how they incorporated meditation to it, but I got an offer to start working with a online content publishing platform, and started blogging, started taking hold of the power of video, and started working with different affiliate offers, membership sites, like coaching, online mentoring. And like I had always wanted to produce video and music and stuff, and then I realized, you know, you could make like a song and sell it for $2, or make a little short video, music video. But if you make like a personal development course, if you become a coach, like a consultant, and you make a video of that, like then you're making like, you know, a 6-figure income, or you're able to support yourself and a family. And so for me, I had to make that shift of going from like a party kid of just wanting to like, you know, make rock and roll music and have fun, to when we come together as a community, when we share content, when we share our stories, we can actually add value to people's lives. We can create content that changes people's core belief system so that they can become better people and change the world and make it a better place. So, you know, I had to make time to do all that, to make those commitments, because before, like, you know, and people say, you know, they don't have time, but then, you know, you ask them like, well, like, what happened on that TV show last night? Like, how was the game last night? Like, so it's all about your priorities, you know, and sometimes you got to switch up your schedule. So how are you going to switch up your schedule to make what you want to make happen faster?
That's the key word, priority.
So, a couple, some affirmations here. And can you see this all right? Is the our videos in the way a little bit?
Yeah,
So
we
let me
can
just
see it clearly.
I have to just like reset it really quick. If I just move that up there like that, okay, should work. So we use these affirmations to like get in the mindset of the Hierophant. So we want to ascend through this next stage of our personal evolution. So let's just relax and put our attention on what would be flowing through the Hierophant's mind right now, so we can get to this next stage of our highest evolution. I build and sustain my spiritual life, my temple, on the foundation of eternal spiritual truths.
I build and sustain my spiritual life, my temple, on the foundation of eternal spiritual truths.
I grow wise through my spiritual devotion.
I grow wise through my spiritual devotion.
My inner self now connects to the guidance from my higher self.
My inner self now connects to the guidances from my higher self.
I listen to the still small voice and become one with its source.
I listen to the still small voice and become one with its source.
All right. So now we're gonna go from the slow start to the fast start. So how does this happen? Again, I want
It's
to.
lovely. So this is about the relationship team building flow.
See, how about I put us over there?
We are at the next section.
All right, so we want to build some relationships, right, with our team. Let's take it to Dr. Barr. What does Dr. Barr say? I don't know if you've ever wanted to like develop a relationship with someone you're working for, but yeah, head to the bar. Dr. Barr. Dr. Barr. So Dr. Barr is, of course, an acronym. It stands for Decide, Ritual, Belief or Believe, Action, and Results. So basically, like, whether or not the person that you're working with is going to have success or not with you is basically because of these things. Basically, first they need to decide that working with you is the right idea, or getting your product, or taking you up on your opportunity offer. And then they have to accept the ritual. So the ritual in this case is going to be the new routine or the activity. It could be an exercise. So if you're in the health and fitness niche, it could be your diet or your exercise. We have a program where we blog every single day, and we journal. We do marketing, coaching. What's your ritual for spirituality? It's yoga and meditation, or qigong. It's your AM and your PM ritual. You have something that you do. So you're going to have to make this clear to the person that's getting started with them. What's the ritual that's expected of them? And then they have to believe that if they do that ritual, if they take that action, that they're going to get the results that they're looking for. And then they actually have to be able to take the action, be willing to take the action, and then they can get the results. So you taking your people to Dr. Barr. So how this kind of works is people have this potential inside them, and depending on what the potential is, people are going to take action according to how much potential they have. But as they take action, they get results. when they get results, then they start to believe, which increases the potential. And now the potential is increased, so then they take more action and get more results, more belief. So how can we shortcut this for a fast start is you get people to the belief as quick as possible. Once people believe that it's you, it's your opportunity, it's what you're offering, your product, that's what's going to assist them. That's when they can take the action so they can get the results that you want them to have. So
we need to make our audience believe that they can do it. Right.
So we want to have a fast start checklist. So once you start working with your new client or your customer, what is the checklist that you go down with them to get them to have the most amount of success the quickest? So this can be different and unique for everyone. I just kind of came up with some ideas here, just like 5 points. So where you deliver this to people, it could be in your social group. If you've added someone to your Facebook group, you could have like a pin post that is the first thing that someone sees when they join your social group, like a Facebook group or something. This could be in the back office of your membership site or in your application. Or it could be something that you go over with them personally when you get on a call with them, or if you talk to them one-on-one. So just some ideas here. We have like your first, like your welcome and your rules. Yeah.
Welcome rules can be before they join on the inside, and also it can be afterwards as well, right?
Yeah. So I guess like we would be talking about like after a person has joined, like they just started working with you. Now you can like tell them, give them the down low, but also some of this can be before the process. So we're gonna welcome them before they even have to buy anything, share with them the rules, and then give them the quiz for free. So there's plenty of great places that you can create a quiz for. Creating a quiz is a really great way to get to know your customers and to be able to give your customers exactly what they're looking for and what will be best for them. So we use Groove. You can create quizzes in Groove really easily. So that's what we're recommending now. But there's a ton of different quiz sites out there, so they're not hard to find. So after they take the quiz, then you can know what value offer that you can prescribe for them if you have multiple offers. So, for example, like if you're in health and fitness, like like we're in the apothecary here. One thing that I recommend is magnesium from Bio Optimizers, and basically you can tell if you need magnesium. If you're deficient in magnesium, you can just take this short quiz and you can find out if taking magnesium is right for you. So that's an example. Or maybe you're sharing multiple different supplements from Bio Optimizers, and the person will take the quiz, and then once they've listed their different situations, then you're going to know which supplement is right for them. Or you're selling an information product, let them know like kind of where they are in their development phase, so then we can recommend like, okay, you should start out at level 2 or you should start out at level 1. So it flows really easily from the quiz to then prescribing your value offers. You can tie in your VSL video sales letter straight in after the quiz. And then you can have your own social group, so make sure people can get inside the members only social group where they can get exclusive access to you and other people in the group, and schedule their one-on-one coaching session with a mentor. So it's super cool if you have like a widget to do the scheduling for you, so you can get the scheduling straight on the calendars. But having a good coaching session scheduling application is really helpful. Okay. So let's dive deeper into video a little bit here now that we've talked about the fast start. Are you clear on like the fast start? Do you have any questions about like how to make the fast start better at all before we move on to going deep with the video?
No, everything is very clear. Thank you so much, Hierophant, for that, for the information that you were sharing with us on how to build our relationships with our audience, how to get them to start on our offer that we presented to them. And I think we are ready to move on to the next section, which is the above average production formula, and how to do that with the power of video.
Okay. So first, there's a few different types of video, and I want to talk about how you can use video in your funnel. So we have like your blog video, which is like your vlog, social video, and video sales letter. So let's focus in on these three different video points, because these are going to be three different types of videos. So for the blog video, this is like your daily video report, or like your captain's log. If you've ever seen Star Trek, or every captain has their log. So, you know, in this stage of your personal development, you are the captain of your life and your business. So you're going to be doing your rituals every day. You're going to be doing your tasks and your processes and your expansion of consciousness every single day. So at the end of your day, record that. Get on video. And so how many of you have smartphones? Raise your hand. I think everyone probably has a smartphone, right? So you have a video camera, or you have a camera in your computer. So it's as easy as just using one of these cameras and just popping it open and giving yourself a selfie. And that's all it is. And you can get a little tripod. Tripods are great. You can do it in Zoom, or you can do it in the camera application, or any of these other different camera applications, but just the normal camera application inside your phone or computer works great. If you're using a computer, you can use QuickTime. QuickTime is the most basic, easiest way to record video, or you can use Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere or iMovie. They all have internal movie recording apps. Even FaceTime, I don't know if you can record using that, but for your blog video, don't think about doing anything fancy. It's just your daily log. Just whip open the phone. You don't even have to write it down. I mean, if you want to write it down, if that helps, you can journal first, and then you can just record yourself reading your journal. And then also, if you're shy about getting on camera, don't let that stop you. Just do a slideshow. You can do a slideshow and just start using with your voice. Start somewhere. There's even different applications out there that have little robots that I think it's like Video Robot. Well, you can even make a little robot avatar of yourself, and you can just plug your text straight into it and have the robot talk. But this is about your personal development. So this is about you sharing yourself, sharing your personal development story. So share with your audience what did you develop today that brought you closer to your goals. Okay, so social video. So this is like the ad, your social ad that kind of goes out. So this would be like a short kind of update. This is where you can think about doing a pattern interrupt to kind of disrupt people from their scrolling and get them to pay attention, deliver some quick value, and then you bridge it. So this again isn't a super long video, just something short, but the goal of this video is to grab people's attention, whereas the blog video, people might be searching for that. That will be SEO, search engine optimized, whereas the social video, we might spend a few dollars to promote that and get people to, you do the pattern interrupt and then bring in your value, and you bring the bridge, and then so that bridge, you think of the social video as a bridge video that brings you to your video sales letter. So you can go to like a lead capture page, a landing page first to collect their email, and then bring them to like the featured content, like a webinar or your pre-done video sales letter. So this is your long form content value and your call to action. So of course your blog video is what you're going to give away for free, and then your social video you're going to pay money to promote that, and then the video sales letter is going to be your featured presentation that will have people giving you money if your call to action is successful. So when we get started making videos, I remember I was at this conference and there's hundreds of thousands of people. There's huge gurus' names were speaking on how to use video production, and like I got to go backstage and work with them in like some smaller workshops that were very exclusive and really go deep into the power of using video and what to do. And they brought up this idea of smile. So all you gotta do is remember to smile. And so I was talking to a couple different leaders, and there's actually a couple different leaders have a couple different ways of smiling. So we're gonna go over 2 different ways of smile. So you can remember to smile twice. So first we're talking about setting the stage. Do I need to move this? Move our videos one more time. So setting the stage. You can just think about there you go. When you pull up on your camera, there you go. Just what's in frame. Is it nice in the background? Is it messy? Like just quick little like set the stage. Make sure you have like nice background. You're good. You can make up. Like I don't use makeup, but some people use makeup. But I do, like if I'm not wearing this ridiculous get up, I make sure my hair's nice. You do a little just make up your face. And then the I am is really important because that's when you connect with your spirit and you just get clear on who you are, not just your name too and where you are, but if you've gone through the 5th level, you know all your individual cities, like I am presence, but you can use I am confidence. I'm confident, and you can just tap into that, like that I am presence right there, like confidence. Whatever your I ams are, if you have a series of I ams that you can do, just bring yourself into that so you're present there for the camera. And then make sure you have the lighting up. And then electricity and energy. Yeah, is your phone charged? Is your computer plugged in? But also, like, do you have the energy within you? So one tip I got from that, from actually doing theater in college, isn't just to like take a shot of caffeine, but actually to imagine in a rope made out of energy coming out of your solar plexus, and it's like a harpoon gun, and maybe they're coming out of your chest too. Maybe they're coming out of all over your body, every one of your chakras. But these harpoons, they shoot out these energy ropes to the other side of the room, and then you can hold on to these energy ropes, and you can feel the energy pulsing coming out of these imaginary energy ropes inside of you, connecting you to the far end of the room. And that visualization process enables you to extend your energy out. Maybe you can shoot an energy rope straight through your screen and the camera and have it connect to the far end of the cosmos. But you can bring in energy that way. So that's kind of like, that's what one mentor shared with me about how they smile. Then I talked to...
Can we also let our audience know about your knowledge about a little bit more about light? Maybe where do we need to keep this light? How does the light affect your video? Like, your knowledge would be so much eye-opening to our audience.
Yeah, lighting is key. Pretty much like, every good video's got to have lighting. If you're not thinking about lighting, then your audience isn't going to get the best out of your picture. So usually 3-point lighting is good, but 2-point lighting. Pretty much the idea is always just to pour more light on it. The more light, the better. So I have a couple lights over here, and then I have one light back there. You can also have a backlight if you'd like. But when you're working with like a green screen, it's extra important that the green screen is fully lit up. So I have a few lighting kits that I recommend. Maybe we can drop those below if people are interested. You can do like a, but basically you kind of want, you know, a light on either side like that, to get kind of both the angles, and then also another light that kind of is behind you to kind of light the background as well. So they call it 3-point lighting like that. It's the left, right, and the back.
3-point lighting. Thank you so much for that, Hierophant.
So smile number 2, in the Guru Wars.
Smile.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we call it the guru battles and how these gurus fight with each other. So these people are like, okay, well, the S stands for style. And this is how your video will be felt. So you can think about the overall style of your video, because it's going to be felt, you know, in a different way. Like, do you have like, you know, some ambient background sounds going on, or some music, you know, how are you speaking in a colloquial manner, or is it very proper? You know, how are you going to be felt? What's your style? And then we have your mission, which is your message, and that's how you're going to be heard. The language and the audio and everything. So the image, this is like the technical aspect of how you're going to be seen.
I think we mentioned something about words. Are we going to be talking about that here? We're gonna talk about the words here, or
Yeah, how to use words. Yeah. So you have to get clear on your message. Maybe journaling helps you, or maybe you can just open up your phone and have like an ideal like archetype that you're speaking to, and speak to them. What your message is. Yeah, so image, how you'll be seen, is kind of the technical aspect of it, and then you need to launch, which is how you will be found. Are you going to be sharing your video on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble, on any of these different sites, and then engage? How are you going to be fulfilled? Are you going to be fulfilled through like a YouTube advertisements? Or are you going to be able to use the video to engage people into your own products and opportunities, or work with your affiliate sponsors, etc.? So 2 smiles. If you can remember to smile twice. Sometimes you can imagine 2 gurus there both smiling at you. But we're going to be talking about 2 different paths coming up. Pretty soon is some more information of kind of what the Hierophant brings is this path of the rose and the path of the lily versus the path of the cross key. So we're going to talk about these 2 different paths. There's 2 different smiles. So 74 or 75% to 90% are going to be spent on style and mission. This is kind of like all your energy and your effort and everything. Like, most of that is going to go into the style of your video and your message. The image, this is just the geek stuff: camera, sound, lighting, editing. But really focus on just your message and your style, right? That's the most important thing. So if you share with people your mistakes, that's great, because you know, when you're doing your daily video logs, it's just like, you know, you're sharing what mistakes did you run into, and you can share like how you troubleshoot it, you know, and because other people are going to make those mistakes too, or have made those mistakes, and that's what builds rapport and creates connection. So you want to be authentic in your videos as much as you can. Like, people are going to spot fakers super fast. If you want to be powerful, you have to stop pretending. So many people, when they get started out doing video, they want to pretend that they're the star and they just have this fake facade about them. I did it too, but after repeated process, you become more and more real, and the quicker you can stop pretending, the faster you're going to be able to assist people.
And I think we will connect more too with our audience when we are not pretending, when we are being real, because they may be facing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So usually, there's all of this chatter going on in the mind all of the time. There's so many things that come up during the day, but when it's time to do the video, what do you do with all of that chatter in your head? You have to have a way to just quiet the chatter and focus in on what's most important to share with people at this time. Focus is the message of the Hierophant. When your inner voice has become more loud than the outside voices, you've mastered your life. That's a quote from The Secret. And so that's great to touch on now, because you want your inner voice to be the one that's speaking for your message, for your video. So quiet the chatter of all those other voices and let that inner voice come out. And that's, people will listen to you because they'll see that you're acting as mastery at that time. So, of course, we all know why we do videos is because it allows people to know, like, and trust us. And it increases our engagement rate, so people can know, like, and trust us faster. The more we can share video, share about our story. It's kind of the main takeaway about why we're doing video. But now I want to get into some video alchemy. How do we use video to actually create what it is that we're looking for? So first, we're going to need to identify our target market. Who are we talking to? Who is our audience? And let's zoom in and get really specific on who are we talking to. And then we have to do our pattern interrupt. How are we going to interrupt these people, what they're doing, and get them to pay attention to what we're talking about? And then we're going to give a quick value demonstration. How can we demonstrate to people our value in the quickest, most efficient way? And then give them our call to action. So now that we've kind of have that in the background, let's go into the storytelling secrets here. How do you step into your power and realize that your story is your greatest asset? How do you craft your personal story? And what's the art of telling stories hypnotically? So, let's craft and tell our story. Here's how. We start with what it was like, and then we move to what happened, and then we discuss what it's like now. So we start with the pain and the struggle, move to a solution, and then it's the results and positive outcome where we're confident and certain. Who do you want to influence? And we can go super deep on this, we touched on this with the magician and the law of the third party, doing all of the audience building exercises, and we can get even more specific, who do we really want to influence? Why do you want to influence them? I want to influence Sri Lankans and Indians to migrate to safe zones, because it could be possible that there could be a pole shift and that Sri Lanka could become the new South Pole and there could be an ice age. What do you want to influence them to do? I want them to learn how to use digital media and the power of video to sell incredible, life-changing, healing opportunities that bring joy and love and confidence and love and power into humans' lives, so that they can travel wherever they want, peacefully and freely, and live happily and safely and fulfill their legacy. But who do you want to influence, and why do you want to influence them? What do you want to influence them to do? Sounds like basic questions, but the more specific you get on these, the more success you're going to be able to achieve, and you're going to be able to focus in on exactly what your story needs to be. So, what makes a good story? There's the hero, the villain, the naysayers, the unlikely helper, the crisis, the turning point, and then what's the moral of the story? Sometimes we forget about all these different aspects of what makes a good story. I think it's really important to be true to your story. What's your story? And as long as you're true and authentic with your story, that's the most important thing. But is there a hero and a villain to your story? Maybe you can clarify that. Like, are there naysayers to your story? Clarify that. Like, who is the unlikely helper? Clarify that. Where was the crisis point, the turning point? What's the moral of the story? You can, your story can be true and authentic, and then you can also take the time to think about these different good storytelling aspects and focus in on them. Flesh out the details to bring your audience members along with you. So what was the biggest problem? What were the changes that you wanted to make? Like, what was your vision? And get more specific on it and take it even further. I think the biggest problem was that there wasn't a simple way to teach people how to make money online, to teach people how to use video and work with web hosting and blogs and websites and build funnels and use autoresponders, pay for web hosting and then video hosting, and there's just a million different things to teach people where to find affiliate programs, what makes a good affiliate program, how to sell, how to create content. There was just a million different pieces of how to become successful with sharing your story and being that rock star online, where you're able to produce an income for yourself to give you that freedom lifestyle. It was all in a million different places. So now we've refined that with our process here. We use a system called Groove. We have this personal development gateway series of episodes that bring people along a systemized process of development. Yeah, I mean, the vision was always just to make it more simple. So what was your problem? What were the changes that needed to be made for you? So let's set the stage. You need to establish credibility with the problem. Why should we listen to you about your solution? Like, so if you share your experience with the problem and how you overcome that, that sets the stage by establishing your credibility with that problem. So let's hear your story of struggle. What were the major points, the challenges, the obstacles, the roadblocks? And then bring it to the journey of discovery. What happened along the journey? Who showed you the solution? What did you learn? what myths were shattered, and then were you able to overcome the objective naturally after that? So, I mean, I think a lot of people have this myth that they have to go to school and then get a 9 to 5 job and then get a mortgage and then be a slave to the system and pay off their debt for the rest of their life. I just That's what everyone just believes. It's like this myth. It's like that's what you grow up and do, and that gets shattered when you learn how to make an income for yourself online by using the power of video and digital marketing. So, what is your journey? What did you discover on your journey? Grant, maybe you can journal off of these a little bit, and get a little bit more clear. So, the art of telling stories hypnotically. Do you remember when I was working with that online publishing platform with the that collaboration of mentors, and I was traveling around the world. I was shooting videos and coaching people from Bali while I was like jumping into the ocean and like climbing mountains and swimming in incredible like pools of like just this natural, like the ocean would come up out of like and hit this spot on the side of the cliff and fill in these pools of water. It took like a couple hours to drive out there and just bathe in these natural ocean pools, but then I would go back to my room and coach and make videos and stuff, and it was an incredible experience. And then I came back from that trip, and the company had closed down, and basically they'd gone bankrupt. All of the mentors, the teachers were all infighting with each other, and all of the blogs I had done for 4 years were all just like vanished, just up in smoke like that. So what I learned was that to create my own products. So then affiliate offers are great, and I definitely recommend working with affiliates when you're getting started. But there comes a time when you're going to want to make your own products and create your own opportunity and be your own boss that way. So what we're talking about is open loops. Basically, I started that story earlier, and then we got distracted from it, and then I came back and closed that loop. So how we can do hypnotic storytelling is by telling multiple stories at the same time and then leaving cliffhangers. So we begin our first story, and we begin our second story, and then we basically get to the point of the story where it becomes emotional, and and then instead of diving into that emotion, you got that emotion, but now that emotion has the attention of your audience, so you can move that into what you're talking about next. So we do 3 stories, and then we dive into the content, we do training, and then the pitch. And then we come around, we finish the third story, finish the second story. So I was getting my MBA as a business consultant, and basically I wasn't satisfied with just how they were grooming me to be like a corporate consultant, and I knew that I had a higher calling inside of me. So I took all of the knowledge that I learned about sustainability rating systems and business management, and I decided that instead of working in a corporate office like they're doing, I'm going to run my own business online and teach people how to be successful just like that too. And then the first story, so I was in Santa Cruz, and my girlfriend had just left me, and I was just like crying. I was bawling, and basically it didn't just happen overnight, but after months I realized that like I don't need to be dependent on anyone else. Whatever anyone else has their opinions, whether it's an audience member or someone close to me, they don't affect me, because I would create a video, or I would have a conversation with a relationship, and whether or not the audience or that person that I was talking to had a good experience or not, completely affected me. If they didn't agree with me and said something negative to me, that tore me up inside, and it kept me from being creative and sharing my story for years. But I finally realized that, like, if no one ever likes me ever again, if no one ever gives me one like on one of my videos ever again, I'll be fine. And that was what really transformed me to be free, so that I can just share my story, because I was already at that point where, I felt like, not one person liked me. So I got over that, and I was like, you know what? If no one likes me, that's fine. If people don't agree with my message, that's fine. I'm going to just be honest and authentic with myself. So that's the end of my first story. So thank you for listening. We're going to begin the meditation part of this episode. So if there's any questions about video or the fast start so far, otherwise you can get ready for meditation. You can just maybe put your pen or your notebook just to the side. We're gonna use it again after the meditation. I'm gonna ask you to do a workbook on the meditation session. So we're gonna do the meditation, and then I'm gonna ask you to journal a little bit and write down a little bit about the experiences of the meditation afterwards. So be ready to write down after the meditation, but for now you can just put that aside, and we'll just calm ourselves down, just get comfortable. Maybe you got is there a way you can make yourself a little bit more comfortable right now? Just put both feet on the ground. Just pay attention to your breathing, or don't pay attention to your breathing. Just let it change and become more natural, and just feel more and more relaxed. And if there's any tension in your body, just go ahead and just relax it. Let it go now. For this meditation, we're already familiar with the breathing techniques and visualization and working with sound and light. So we're going to be using this the breathing and the light and the visualization. So we're going to be visualizing entering the temple, entering the temple of the Hierophant. Maybe you already have an idea of what the temple of the Hierophant looks like. This is your own temple inside your own soul. So have your own experience, and what does the temple look like for you? We're going to be discovering our personal soul path within this temple. There's the path of the rose, the path of the crossed keys, and the path of the lily. So we'll be going through all three of the paths, and then you can choose which path resonates with you, and then go deep with that path. And then we're going to do the Soul Path workshop. So I'm just going to stop sharing the screen right now. Just bring it back to us if you like. But you can just close your eyes here, so you don't necessarily have to look at me with my goofy robe on. So these mystical teachings they're available to anyone who seeks knowledge. Having a clear definition of your specific link with divinity is like being handed a roadmap to a well-worn path trod by many initiates before you. The Hierophant meditation will reveal your spiritual path and its practices, traits, lessons, and blessings. There's 3 distinct pathways tread by the initiate. The meditation's purpose is to help you discover your soul path or style of spirituality. Each path has particular gifts and ways to know inner wisdom teachings. Refer to the journal workshop that we're going to be doing at the end of this section to record your personal experience after you perform this meditation. So, we're going to begin with the entrance to the temple. So, plan to spend some time with this meditation. We could even play some music here. Let's see. Let yourself remember a temple or a holy place in nature. Just listen to the sound of my voice as you visualize, and I ask you some questions. You can play this meditation back multiple times and continue to enjoy it. Relax and center yourself with some pranayama, some rhythmic breathing. Ask your master teacher, inner guide, guardian angel, or higher self to be present. Visualize and sense that you are in a sacred place in nature or in a temple. When comfortably ensconced, ask your guide to take you to the hall of initiation so you can seek wisdom and truth about your soul path. See a portal or doorway. Know thyself is written on the lantern above the entrance. Enter into the temple's antechamber. This is a small room adjacent to the main hall. A white robe is waiting for you. Place the garment around you. Note how it feels. You are aware that a great hall or sacred setting lies beyond this small room. But for now, you are to stay in the antechamber. Feel your guide's presence growing stronger, and remember to breathe rhythmically. A desk with an open book, a pen, and a lit candle stands before you. A chair awaits you. Be seated, all the while feeling the loving presence of your guide. Answer the following questions. Write them in the book of your life before you. Are you sincerely ready and desirous of entering the initiation hall? Why do you seek admittance? Write these answers, then sign and date the entry. If you are ready, you will feel your guide's presence grow stronger. It is now time to enter the main temple room. This is the first hall of initiation. When you are ready, you are welcome to enter. Before you, you will see 3 closed doors. View each one individually. The first has a pulsing life force emanating from it and bears the emblem of a heart. The second seems to be breathing and has two crossed keys upon it. The third emanates a great light and has an eye on its surface. Now request to know which path you are on. Ask your guide and feel yourself drawn to one of the three doors. When you are ready, go to the door, open it, and enter. Observe what you are shown. This information can come in the form of a sensation, feeling, thought, vision, or sound. Experience what is inside the chamber. Are there angels? A presence? Symbols? Colors? Lights? Or perhaps tarot archetypes that have been working on your path with you. Ask for deeper understanding regarding who they are and what messages they bring. Request deeper insight about this path. Ask about its current teaching and the lessons that your everyday life experience and has brought to you. You can pose a question regarding a situation and receive guidance. What about this path do you need to understand? What do you need to do to steady yourself and proceed further? Thank your guides and teachers for their presence. Bring the emblem, the heart, the eye, or the key, into your heart, third eye, or crown. See where it wants to be placed. At your heart, your third eye, your crown. Return to the antechamber. Remove the white robe and, as you do, feel your usual identity grow strong. Then breathe normally and sense your surroundings. Leave the chamber and temple knowing your higher self, guides, and teachers are there for you to call upon for further exploration of the temple. Feel yourself returning to normal consciousness. Record your impressions. Write them on the journal worksheet. Review this meditation as a reference point for your experience. Study your interpretations for further explanation of your meditation. Now let's begin the personal soul path. The three paths of this meditation must all be walked and integrated. The three ways of knowing they represent exist within us all. When the three paths are trod over time on the journey to know your spiritual nature you attain a new level called direct cognition and receive the knowledge and conversation the Hierophant, the holy guardian angel, higher self, master, and teacher. When you reach a state of complete knowing, you become the Hierophant. The inner teacher, or esoteric facet of the Hierophant, is an aspect of your own soul that is interested in your spiritual progression. It dwells within the center of your being. It acts as a mentor, saint, or sage, and stays in contact with you subconsciously or consciously, guiding you on your path. The path of the rose. The path symbolized by the heart is known as the path of the rose. It is a devotional way to experience divinity, prayerful and filled with open-heartedness. It especially represents feeling compassion, healing gifts, and giving service to others in the form of heartfelt caring, nurturing, teaching, and loving. Though I have all knowledge and have not love, I am nothing. Love seeks to see and envision God in all humanity, regardless of externals. As your heart and mind fix themselves continually upon holding the idea of good, the nature of yourself, and your broadened relationship with divinity knows love in a personal and transpersonal way. This approach, mainly through the adoration of the heart, develops the pillar of strength, love's ultimate value. The tests of the pathway are the emotional addictions that distract you from devotion. The challenge is to refuse to be run by them and to offer them up to the higher powers to dissolve and release. The power of spiritual love and self-love is the solution to the challenge of this path. Consider the use of body disciplines for steadying your emotions. This may be exercise such as yoga, tai chi, or breathing techniques. Meditation walks also help, as do prayers, affirmations, and visualizations. Doing for others, the environment, or animals, and carrying acts of kindness also heal the lower aspects of this path. Studying and consciousness raising can also help balance an overly emotional state. The path of the crossed keys. The crossed keys represent the path of spirit in action, the actor. Spirituality is physical and experiential. Awareness is sensed and experience is felt. Your physical body becomes a vehicle to know the divine. The individuals on this path are the doers, the makers, and builders. Spiritual movement, dance, gardening, nature trips, healthy lifestyles, ecology, earth mysteries, sacred architecture, artistic endeavors, and sacred spaces are ways to trod this path. Enactment of rituals correspond to the path of action. People worshipping the sun god at Stonehenge at a solstice express the spirituality experienced through the body in sacred time and space at an earth ceremony. The practice of yoga, tai chi, and other spiritual-based experiences and postures, as well as mental techniques of communication with the body, the chakras, and energy currents, create a body-mind link and endow the participant with intuitive powers. A spiritual tradition in which actors participate in rituals, plays, and dioramas, including the portrayals of tarot characters and scenes, is another way to experience self-awareness. In the mystery schools, roles are assigned and participants have to get into character. The idea is that you become the role so that subsequently you realize that capacity in yourself. This brings you an awareness of untapped inner potential and newfound abilities and resources. For example, undertaking the role of the Empress develops kindness. The Emperor brings out mastery and authority. Simply choose the arcanum, then create the environment and costume. And, more important, get into the character. Feel, think, and believe you are it. The physical enactment of the character serves as both evocation and invocation. The power within is expressed, and the gods reach out to meet you. You discover your human powers, and as you integrate them into your life, magic happens. The challenging side of the path of spirit in action is the inability to find the meaning behind the practice, doing without thinking or lack of introspection. This causes you to perceive your physical body and the material world as the only reality, and to have a life without true purpose, or to lead an unquestioned life. The path of the lily. The eye symbolizes the path of the lily. This is the path of contemplation, where meditation, listening, receptivity, awakening, silences, and openness produce personal realizations. The individuals on this path have a love of the divine world. They cherish learning opportunities, especially conferences, study contemplation of a tarot card, teaching, writing, speaking, and understanding is how this path of the soul operates. The path working involves awareness of what the topic contemplated evokes within you. Then the revelation takes you to your own personal truth. This passive act of moving inward involves feeling the essence of what is being contemplated. This produces a movement away from ego into the realm of the higher self, where visions and ecstasy can be attained. The challenge of this type of thinking is studying theory but avoiding experience. Too much in the head or mind with little interest in the experiential or feeling realm. For those on the path of the lily, the key is to keep an open heart so that you can feel what you contemplate. For example, it is one thing to study a philosophical principle and quite another to experience one of the teachings firsthand. So now we're going to be completing the workshop. We're going to go over just a few more questions, and then we're going to end the session for today. So grab your pen and piece of paper, or open up your notebook. This is going to be a great way to experience this information for journaling, discussion, contemplation. We're going to find our spiritual way here. So this meditation helps us learn our spiritual path. We can refer to this guidance about this path, explore this information given by answering these questions, and know that you can move from one path to another and eventually experience all three of the paths. So just take a moment to kind of reflect on those three different paths. Which of those symbols is calling to you, and where does it land on your body?
Like the green heart, rose, and connected.
I like how the heart's green. Love the detail. So are you on the path of the rose, the path of the Oops.
I like the rose.
I feel like I was the path of the rose when I was younger, I think, and then I think I've mainly been the path of the cross keys, the spirit in action. But recently, when I just did the meditation, I got the path of the eye, path of the lily. Maybe I'm evolving, starting to grow. What are the qualities associated with this path? So you can listen to the meditation again and go back and reflect on the qualities, but maybe you can pick up just feeling what does this path feel like for you? Can you just jot down some qualities that are associated with this path? What do you think of when you think of the qualities associated with that path? For the path of the lily, I think like contemplative, meditative. And then for the cross keys, I think of kind of integrating the meditation with communicating. And then the path of the rose is like just in the embodiment of the devotion. The rose is devotional because it's the red rose, like red, like blood. So it's like your devotional, like a blood bond is like your level of commitment. Where the path of the lily is like universal love. It's like white, like light, like an open heart, like you love everyone. And then I guess the cross keys is you can dive into that spiritual awareness where you can have that experience of unity and devotion, but you can also be in action at the same time. So how do these principles apply to your life? If we're getting clear on our spiritual path, are we going to spend more time with yoga and meditation, or spend more time integrating and teaching and working with others? Do we need to spend more time reflecting and working on ourselves, or do we spend more time being in the action? Do we spend more time going to webinars and classes and reading books and listening to podcasts, or do we spend more time teaching the webinars, writing the books, giving the podcasts, producing the videos, or do we balance both? And I think the real lesson here is to walk all three paths. You want to study, practice, and teach all at the same time. You can master all three paths. So how does walking this path make you feel? It feels kind of like a graduation, kind of like, I think I've always been afraid of the path of the eye, because I'm like, it makes me think of like the eye, the all-seeing eye and the Illuminati and stuff, but I guess like once you get past that, then you're just like, I see, I envision. Maybe it feels good that you're finally on that stage of personal development where you can reach that next level in your development, your life. Does it feel comfortable, or do you feel uncomfortable in this transition? Does feeling uncomfortable feel good? Does it feel good to get out of the comfort zone? Because then you start growing. Maybe you've been in the path of the eye and you've just been watching in the past, but now you're going to pick up the path of the cross keys and start taking a little action and start to integrate watching and learning with taking some action as well. and maybe you've decided to take a video challenge and start recording a video every day, recording the development of your journey. So how can you facilitate this path? If we're starting a new ritual, a new practice in our journey development, we need to make room and time for this. Are we going to give ourselves time every morning, every evening? So for me, I don't let myself eat until I practice my routine. So I get up in the morning, I do my practice, and I don't go for breakfast until I finish my practice. And then in the evening, after I've done my day, I don't go for dinner until I've done my practice. So it's like it's getting late in the evening. It's like it's getting near time for dinner. I make sure that I give myself at least an hour or 2 hours before dinner to go through the practice and do the routine before I allow myself to break for eat. So maybe it's different for you, but I use food because I know food motivates me. I always get hungry eventually. And when I get hungry, that's a great motivator because then I know, like, okay, so I finish this routine, then I can go break, get some good food, and you can look forward to that. And then you enjoy the food so much better right afterwards. But, what are you going to do to facilitate your path? If you're the path of the eye, are you going to give yourself more time to read and listen and attend classes and watch and give yourself good content for the eye to vision and to look at and to you want to eat up that content through the eye? Or if you're the path of the heart, are you going to give yourself opportunity to work with people, to share your love, to go out there on social media or through whatever platform and engage with people and coach and teach and train and be that shining example of life? If you're the path of the cross keys, are you going to be able to balance both? We will do both at the same time, teach and learn and do. So what are you going to do to facilitate this change in your path, to allow this growth to develop? So what did you encounter inside the hall of initiation? Think back to the guided meditation we just did. When we did the visualization into the hall of initiation, what happened? Did you have an experience? Did you connect with your higher self or a spirit guide? Maybe just journal a little bit. Just write down your experiences. What happened in the hall of initiation? Did you feel something? And if you don't really remember, you can go back and listen to the meditation again, and maybe you have to go through the meditation 5 or 6 times, entering through the temple. What happened? You spoke with your higher self. Did you have a communication with a guardian angel? What did you see? Was it an experience? I felt like I was... Yeah? You were able to make contact? And you had a connection? I felt the floor beneath me vanish, and I just started falling through space, and just clouds. It was more like clouds at sunset. It's an orange sunset, and I was just falling through clouds, and there was a pyramid beneath me, and I was gonna get I was gonna fall on the top of the pyramid, and it was gonna pierce my heart. But instead, I started levitating, and I'm floating above the pyramid. Then I became the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid, and then the eye came into my crown, to my maybe my crown or maybe my third eye, and I felt like I had that envision. Yeah.
I had a similar thing too, like I saw like the Egyptian, I don't know, the eye over here, I could really see. I was focusing, yeah, like on the green heart, but at the same time, like I really saw, like it's like the Egyptian, I don't know, the eye was right here.
Well, it's just like I every time I've done this meditation since like the first time I've done it, I've always got the path of the cross keys. So this time it was like, and I was the path of the rose before that. So the eye is the one that I hadn't done yet. So it felt like kind of a graduation. Like now I can finally see everything. Like I was kind of like I was down in the trenches, kind of doing everything, but now I can kind of have this open experience of open-minded experience of being able to see a bigger vision. So what did you experience in the antechamber as you wrote your purpose in the book of your life? Did you write your purpose down in the book of your life? Did you have an experience where you communicated with your guide and then open up your book and you're able to write down your purpose? If you haven't written down your purpose in your book of your life, maybe do that right now. So what's the experience of doing that? Do you feel hesitant? Like you're like, oh, like what's my purpose? Or like are you very confident and certain about it at this point? Right now, I think we should be feeling pretty confident and certain about our purpose and manifesting it. But if we're not, let's just spend some extra time really dialing that in. Because once it's written down in that book, we're going to achieve it, right? All right, last couple questions here. So, did you feel your guide's presence? What was this experience like for you? So I always know I'm in the presence of my guide because I always get like a shockwave will go up on my spine. I'll sit up really straight like that. I'm sure if you watched enough of my videos, you'll see me do it. I get the shake and I jump up like that. Also, if I'm using a pendulum, my pendulum will just start swaying back and forth like that. But I can even say, like, you know, like, am I in the presence of my higher self? And I'll just start, like, going back and shaking my head, like, yes. But you can get familiar with your guide and your higher self so that you recognize the energy signature, so that you know, like, that's the energy, that's the high vibration of your higher self, your guide. And so become familiar with that experience. Then you have like your familiar. All right, last question. How can you focus, consolidate, and proceed with your dedication to personal and spiritual path working? Sorry, last question. I got a little rush here. Proceed with your dedication to personal development. Your personal spiritual path working. How can you focus, consolidate, and proceed with your dedication to personal spiritual path working? Is there anything you would like to leave us with, Nadira, before we sign off? That's all of the content that I had for today.
I'm sure that our audience is feeling excited to go and then fast start on getting their members and then creating videos. So I'm excited, and I'm sure that our audience too is excited to be continuing on this path with us.
So as we're talking about getting focused and consolidating our energy and effort into how we can best jumpstart our personal development at this stage. I have a challenge for anyone who's still watching this video at this point to take a 90-day video challenge. This is what my mentor challenged me with to get me started making videos. He challenged me to make a video a day for 90 days, and I did it. I'm telling you that it transformed my video making abilities and my confidence. And the first, I would say first, a lot of them were really, really bad. So don't be scared or stop yourself if you make bad videos, because how you get better is by making videos. And you're going to be excellent at making videos if you just keep making videos every day. Sometimes it might be kind of hard to get to do the first one, but every time you make a video, you're going to be getting better and better at it. So, maybe you don't even share your first videos, but maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe just go ahead and share them. Pop them up there on social media, on YouTube, and just share a little something for a couple minutes. You've got tons of notes and stuff to go off of, but it can be as simple as just what you learned that day. What did you learn? And just summarize it in a couple minutes. And do that every day for 90 days, and you will transform. And people will be able to see your transformational journey. And you know what? If you look back and you say, man, that video sucked, it was super bad, just delete it. You can mark it as private. No problem. So let's get excited about this next stage of our personal development growth and unleashing the power of becoming more productive with video. And let's get our fast start going, and I bless each and every one of you on your personal development journey. So lots of love out there, and start making those videos and sharing them. We'll see you next week, where we're going to be talking about the lovers.
See you next week. I think we're still live.
Yeah, I just thought we would dance out. We're gonna go to a dance party after this too. Y'all should come. So check below for any for any links to the bio optimizers, to the groove funnels, or get back to the person that shared this video with you and see what they recommend, and take